When it comes to Chelsea Football Club, the evolution has been absolutely hideous. We've went from a team that wants to compete for trophies every single time to a team now that is looking for wonder kids left, right and centre. It looks like Esteavo Willian from Brazil, the 16-year-old, is touted to be coming to Chelsea for £34 million, but Chelsea want to do a different type of deal, an Endrick type of deal that Real Madrid managed to do. I'm going to give you the details, I'm going to show you the breakdown, and I'm going to tell you who Esteavo is. And then Chelsea now are linked with Jonathan Tah, a 27-year-old centre-back that plays for Bayer Leverkusen that has been really promising in his early days but has underwhelmed massively. In recent years under Xabi Alonso, he has really resurrected his career, and now he's a free agent in 2025 and Chelsea are prominently trying to secure his talents. This is coming from Sky Germany. We're going to bring you the news and we're going to talk about whether we actually need Jonathan Tah. So before we get started, I need you lot, clearly you enjoyed what's going to be on this video and you're going to like that video because it's 1,000 likes to push this algorithm out, and number 2, subscribe to the channel because we are super close to 31,500. We're like 20 people away. Help me get that and then we move on to the next target. Let's get on with the video. We're going to talk about Jonathan Tah first, and the reason I think we should talk about Jonathan Tah first is because Jonathan Tah resolves our issues presently rather than in the future. Chelsea Football Club are in dire need of a new centre-half, allegedly. That is what the newspapers, that is what the journalists, that is what the Twitter tacticos are saying. I don't agree with this statement. Let me give you the news and then I'll give you my opinion. Sky Germany are now reporting that Jonathan Tah is attracting high demand from numerous sources, numerous clubs, numerous entities that want to acquire his service at the end of the year. Not this one, the year after. So 2025 summer, he's a free agent. So in this summer, there's going to be a whole host of clubs coming in for him. Jonathan Tah is having one of the best seasons at Bayer Leverkusen. I think they still remain undefeated as of this recording. They are absolutely smashing it. Attractive football, incisive. The team is well-oiled machine, and defensively they are solid, but going forward they are absolutely unbelievable. Now to Chelsea. Do Chelsea need Jonathan Tah? I think this is excessive overkill, and the reason I'm going to say that is because we have centre-backs on the book. We don't need more centre-backs. If anything, we need to reduce the amount we have. When we signed Axel Disasi and Benoit Badiashile, what happened? I thought, okay, stop now. We don't need any more. We've got Badiashile, we've got Disasi, we've got Wesley Fofana, we've got Levi Colwill, we've got Thiago Silva, we've got Bashir Humphreys coming through the ranks. You don't need 6. It's overkill. It's too many. I understand Fofana was injured and we had to act quickly. We had to go and acquire a new player. And you know what? With the injuries that have happened, it kind of makes sense. But you can't depend on players to get injured consistently. It bloats your squad. You have problems. And now adding Jonathan Tah to replace Thiago Silva, in my opinion, is particularly an overkill. I don't want Chelsea to do this. This is not a good idea. For me, the way I would go, I've said this on many occasions. You build a team around Levi Colwill and Benoit Badiashile. The two players are very competent. They're both potentially world-class one day if they achieve the ceiling that they have. But at this present moment, they are top 6, top 4 players. They need to play to get better. You've got Axel Disasi to provide cover where needed. You got Fofana coming back, who was the best centre-half out before. And then you just try to work around his fitness, ease him back in, and see hopefully if he can recover. Because the reality is you add Jonathan Tah to this, who in my opinion is immobile. He's got a good passing range on him. He's very physical, good in the air, but he's not mobile enough. I think at this current Chelsea, with lack of leadership around him, it's going to be a recipe for a disaster. That's my personal opinion. I want to hear yours in the comments below. And like I said, make sure you hit the like button because we're aiming for 1,000 likes on this video. And if you made it this far, you have to. The next story is about Esteavo Willian. Alright, so a lot of you are going to say who? And I agree with you guys. Who? He's a 16-year-old from Brazil. His nickname's Messinho, so you can already imagine what kind of player he is. Came through the ranks with Endrick, and Chelsea are actively trying to chase him. Earlier in the summer, PSG put in an £80 million bid for the pair, Endrick and Esteavo. The bid was rejected because of the clauses that PSG included, and the club didn't want to sell both at the same time. Palmeiras have now agreed a deal for Endrick to Real Madrid for 20 million euros guaranteed, 20 million in add-ons if all the clauses are met. This doesn't include any of the wages. This doesn't include any of the signing on fees. We don't know what's happened with that. So we can't comment on that. We only know the fee that is being paid to Palmeiras plus the potential that will be paid if he reaches his adult. So now we need to talk about Willian Esteavo. Chelsea are looking at the £34 million rated player and want to construct a similar deal. 20 guaranteed, 20 if the targets are met. I normally am sick and tired of Chelsea trying to acquire wonder kids. Because in that right wing position, we've got Kendrick Price, we've got Angelo, we've got Cole Palmer, we've got Moreira, we've got Omari Hutchinson, we've got Sterling, we've got Mudryk. It's just acquiring, right? Noni Madueke. We've got so many wingers. There is no pathway for these kids. So my question is now, do I have a problem with Chelsea going to get Esteavo if he is the next wonder kid the way Kendrick Price is, who can play in the number 10 role? No, I don't have a problem. Because evidently this kid is creme de la creme. This kid is going to be one of the best in Europe. My problem is the Cesar Cazorla days. The ones where you pay £13 million and yes, you can flip them in the future. It's the Leslie Ogochokwos. I don't understand it. Whilst Leslie is a very good player and contributing now, are you going to tell me that Leslie Ogochokwo for £27 million was a good acquisition, is a good utilization of resources when we're dying out for a striker, a number 9, an experienced one, and a goalkeeper where we have Robert Sanchez? No. We need to be open, we need to be honest, and we need to be transparent. If Chelsea are going to buy the youngsters of tomorrow, they need to make sure the team of today is ready to make sure that there is a platform for the youngsters of tomorrow to join. It's like saying, I'm going to buy a lovely furniture for a house, but I don't have a house. I don't have a stable house that might be here in 5 years' time because the foundations are broken. You build the house, you build the structure, you build the entity, and then, in my opinion, and only then, you add the decorations, and then you plan for the extension, and then you build, you buy a sofa that's beautiful, then you buy some jewelry for yourself and your wife and your loved one. The reality is, Chelsea at this moment in time are doing things in a very weird order, and we need to accept that. The club that we love and the club that we cherish, the one under Roman Abramovich, and the reality is, that's all I know. I was 6, 7 years old when Roman Abramovich came in. I know, make sure the first team's good. If managers underperform, we sack them. Am I saying that's the most sustainable way for success? I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing I know. We were the most successful club for 20 years in England under Roman Abramovich's tenure. So that should tell you something. I'm not saying it tells you everything, but it tells you something. This new avenue is a different one to go. I think Pochettino is a very, very easy target to hit now. When things go wrong, what do? We blame the players not being good enough and we blame the coach. And the reality is, it's a figment of 3 things, like I said in my last video. The coach should be doing better, should be extracting more from the players he has. The players need to be finishing the extractions that we're seeing. When you're going through one-on-one, when you're going through on a 4-2-3, 4v2 system, where Mudryk has the ball and there's 3 players either side of him and he messes up the pass, that's not on Pochettino and that's not on the board. That's your pure execution. But at the same time, the board needs to make sure there's a pathway for these kids. But the first team remains competitive. The first team remains experienced. And that Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo were learning from an N'Golo Kante. They were learning from a Jorginho. No, that didn't happen. And for me, that is mind-boggling that we got rid of it. I don't think it's a coincidence that the players that are looking the best in this team at this moment are Badiashile, the Sassi's looking competent, Reece James looking competent. Yes, he's had a bad game. Levi Colwell's looked competent apart from 1 or 2 bad games. It's because they're surrounded by Thiago Silva. They've got experience. And I think it's not a surprise that Jackson looks rushed. Sterling's body language, where he, sometimes when Jackson messes up, is evident. He doesn't rate him. Just by the way, this demeanor, he just does not rate the player. He's thinking, oh, this fool. Like, literally. Mudryk, they don't trust each other. This isn't a team. And you can see the difference between Cole Palmer and Sterling's relationship and Sterling's and the other 2. Sterling knows they're not ready. And I'm not saying this to pick on Sterling and say Sterling's a bad player and he's a bad leader. I just think Sterling's a winner and wants to continue winning. And we've got players that aren't ready to win. They aren't ready to contribute, let alone win. So we need to be open and honest, wait for Nkunku to come back, and he's not Leonardo Nkunku, so we need to be patient with him when he comes back as well. We need to be realistic and have a fair judgment of this player. But I want you lot to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Big game tomorrow. I am very, very nervous. I think we're going to lose. I really do. I've got a really bad feeling about the game. And I think it's because Chelsea have broken my trust. But hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. There will be a review as per usual. You guys know the deal. See you then. Peace out. I'm out.